I have prepared for you very interesting strategy based on two indicators. The link to register on the platform with a 50% bonus to the deposit in the description. We select the candlestick chart type with a time frame of 3 minutes. Expiration time is 1.5 minutes. We connect Fractal and Supertrend indicator. For Fractal we set the period to 3, for Supertrend the period is 6 and multiplier is 1. This completes all the settings, and I already see a trading situation for a buy-in. I will explain the logic of this strategy. First, the red arrow pointing downwards tells us that the downward movement has ended. This is the first signal to increase. Secondly, the super trend indicator gives a signal to buy. This is our second signal to increase. Thirdly, we see a strong candle which the super trend indicator line rests against. And this is our third signal to increase. The first trade has already closed with a profit, and while I'm looking for a new deal, please like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss new videos. I found a bullish deal again, and the logic here is absolutely identical. I repeat it especially for you. First, the red arrow pointing down tells us that the downward movement has ended. This is the first signal to go up. Second, the super trend indicator gives us a buy signal. This is our second signal to go up. Third, we see a strong candlestick which the super trend indicator line rests against. And this is our third signal to go up. However, I have identified another interesting trading situation for myself. As you can see, we could have gone up, but it's too late, and I'm convinced that the price will soon reach the peak, which is visible on the left. In this case, we will have a price drop, and I ended to a sell trade. One out of 4 trades turned out to be unprofitable, but overall we came out with a profit. And while I'm looking for a trading pair, I'll tell you about my Telegram channel, which you can follow the link in the description of this video. In the next 1 or 2 weeks I'll start making trading sessions. You don't need to register anywhere, just join and that's it. Moreover, there I give a link to my platform with a private strategies and technical analysis course. I talked about this platform in a previous video, I advise you to watch them. Here I opened a deal to sell. First, the green arrow pointing up tells us that the upward movement has ended. This is the first signal to sell. Secondly, the super trend indicator gives the signal to sell. This is our second signal to sell. Thirdly, we see a strong candle which is a super trend indicator line rests against. And this is our third signal to decrease. The strategy worked correctly and we made a profit. Now I'll find another trading situation. The deal is for an increase and the algorithm of work doesn't change. Firstly, the red arrow pointing down tells us that the downward movement has ended. This is the first signal for an increase. Secondly, the Supertrend indicator gives us a signal to buy. This is our second signal for an increase. And then we see a strong candle with a Supertrend indicator rest against. And this is our third signal for an increase. Everything works smoothly and we get our profit. And I opened the last deal for today to sell. To consolidate the material, I'll repeat. Firstly, the green arrow pointing upward tells us that the upward movement has ended. This is the first signal to sell. Secondly, the Supertrend indicator gives us a signal to sell. And thirdly, we see a strong candle with a Supertrend indicator line rest against. And we get a profit again. Thank you very much for watching.